Bud Wilkinson, when you fear someone as Notre Dame does Anthony Davis on kickoff returns, you're mighty happy to win that toss, so you don't have to kick to him as we look at the starting lineup for the University of Notre Dame on offense.
All right, it's Casper, Nice, Pomrico, Brenneman, Donardo, Sylvester, and Pete Demerly. Casper is the tight end, number 86, who's caught 13 passes. 13 also by Demerly. They have 5 touchdowns between them as passes thrown by Tom Clements or Cliff Brown. So this is going to be a fantastic battle here on the banks of the St. Joseph's River. As you look at the backfields, number 2, Tom Clements, who is the junior quarterback. 44 is Eric Pennick, the junior. And this is Gary Deminick, the senior, who is starting today, it appears. And number 30 is Wayne Bullock, a junior fullback who has 321 yards. Kicking off for Southern California will be Brad Rice. We have Deminick 28 deep, along with Ron Goodman. Goodman at the top of your screen, number 21, Duffy Doherty.
Chris, I've got those butterflies I used to get so many Saturday afternoons here in the fall trying to play in this enthusiastic stadium, and I'll tell you, it does get to you.
It really does, whether you're Michigan State, whether you're Minnesota or Purdue. It's still Notre Dame, and they're receiving the kick. It's Goodman, number 21 at the 6, coming out to the 10, the 15, the 20. Good room on the outside, and is forced out of bounds by number 46, Danny Reese. Danny Reese of the Trojans forces Goodman, number 21, in the navy blue jersey. And most people think that the Irish wear green, the football team. Not true. It is gold and navy blue, and they have the ball, Bud, for the first time, 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Occasionally, Frank Leahy used to put them in green when he wanted to get a little extra effort from them. This afternoon, they don't need anything. They're ready.
That's right. They're in the blue jerseys with Clements calling signals. Number 2. Held his own number. And look at the gang tackling on the part of the SC defensive team, led by Art Riley, number 70, and number 49, Charlie Phillips.
I think that was almost a broken play. He bobbled the ball as he came off under center and then just ran for daylight.
I'm not sure, Duff. I think that was a quarterback counter. The whole backfield went the opposite way, and Southern California pursues so well. I think maybe they planned it that way.
He bobbled it, though.
Lincoln on the far side, 2nd down at 4 from the 33 for Notre Dame. The second snap. This is Bullock, number 30, from Newport News, Virginia, carrying on the play. As we have defensively, Mitchell 85, Jeter 79, Sims 41, 83 Wood, 55 Anthony, 70 Riley, 72 Doris, 24 Cobb, 14 Parker, 49 Phillips, and Reese 46. With the ball now at the 35, it's a 3rd down and 2.
Ball possession is so important to Notre Dame today.
Notre Dame has averaged 33 points a game in their 5 games that they have won. Clements, they go for the first down, and they get it. Gary Deminick, the senior from Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania. First down, Notre Dame.
Power I formation with 3 backs blocking ahead for Deminick. They did wipe him out of there.
I think, without any question, Eric Persican is going to try to exercise ball control and go 4 or 5 yards of crack if necessary.
Yes, the Notre Dame offensive unit does have impressive statistics against the 5 opponents. They are tough. Now with the 1st and 10 from the 39 against the Southern California defense. That's Pennick in motion who gets the ball. Despite a good block as thrown by Frank Pomrico, who was the pulling guard, the SC defense led by number 70, Art Riley, come over, and Ray Rodriguez.
Let's watch number 83, Woods, great linebacker. Here he is, 6'2", 217, and he reminds me a lot of Rod Schott of Oklahoma. He's got that magnificent speed for a big man. Look at that pursuit and in on the tackle.
All right, it's 2nd down and 7 now for Notre Dame at their own 42. Throwing his first pass, Clements. Complete. First down, Notre Dame. Dave Casper, his 14th catch of the year. Look at those Notre Dame fans.
Great poise that time by Clements. Play action pass. He had the option to pass, run. He was out where he could have run, but he saw Casper wide open, drilled it in there for the first down.
That's right, but he could have run or passed there and done either one very well.
And now it's Demerly, 85, and Deminick, 86 to the far side on a 1st and 10 from the SC 44. No gain on the play as Wayne Bullock is stopped cold. In on the play was number 85, one of them, that is Dale Mitchell, along with 55, Charles Anthony.
I think that Notre Dame will have more success running misdirection plays, but because of the great quick pursuit that the Southern Cal defense had.
And also the size. The three middle linemen for Southern California average about 242 pounds, and they're 6'4". And that's pretty formidable physical statistics.
Second down and 10 now for Notre Dame at the SC. 44. Bullock for about 3 yards. Number 59, Mark Brenneman from York, Pennsylvania, the offensive center, blocking forward as Charles Anthony is in on the tackle at the 41 of SC. As we look at the Anthony.
Number 55, Charlie Anthony, has replaced Sims at linebacker. He moved in this time rather than pursued laterally, but shot the gap accurately and made the tackle. He's a 240-pound senior.
Last time on third down, as we have a slot formation to the near side, they went to the pass. 3rd and 7. Oh, he's close, but missing it was Wayne Bullock. Bullock, he needed to get beyond the SC 35, and as you see, he missed it by that much.
A lot of times, Chris, where I would recommend a field goal try or a punt in this situation, but not against Southern California. They're too explosive on offense.
Already, Notre Dame has used about 5 or 6 different offensive formation. That was from a double wing set, that play in the last one, Bud.
You're supposed to throw it when you're in double wing, but they crossed them up by running that quick trap.
And, of course, if they make it, the adrenaline will flow for Notre Dame fans and the team as they go against a balanced, well-coached, aggressive SC defensive. 4th down and 1. And the referee calls a delay of the game penalty, which is 5 yards. There's the signal.
And that was a very new offensive formation. They were in an unbalanced line to the bottom of the screen. 4 men to the bottom, 2 men on the other side of the center in a power I formation. And that's one of those things, Duff, I just shake my head about. There's just no reason to get a penalty like that at that time.
I can't see an experienced quarterback like Clement not taking a timeout there.
In the lineup now, number 9, a very fine punter. As we look at Ara Parsegan, the head coach, Brian Doherty, who is a high school quarterback. He is the punter for Notre Dame, averaging 44.7. No score, and on 4th down and 6, Notre Dame is forced to punt. The punt is coming deep. Out of bounds. Very good weapon in this case. Out of bounds at the 8. So Southern California, the mighty Trojan offense, will have to work from there. Their own 8. We'll be back in a minute. A 4th down punt. Southern California gets the ball for the first time. We look at Pat Hayden, the quarterback, number 10, 28 Davis, McKay, J.K. McKay, Davis, and right now, here's the first snap. In motion is Len Swan, a great receiver, as Hayden takes the handoff out in the flat. And missing the pass and losing his helmet was Len Swan. Luther Bradley, the freshman from Muncie, Indiana. What a shot he gave him. There he is. Look at that athlete. Woo!
He was in no way fooled. That was the big fake over the ball. It's the basis of the Southern California offense as we look at their starting lineup in the line. But that was a dangerous screen pass from this point on the field.
Swan is out of the lineup. Shelton Diggs, number 26, a freshman, comes in the lineup. Davis is the tailback behind number 44, Manfred Moore, the fullback, on a 2nd and 10 from the 8. No score in the game. Hayden, the quarterback, SC. There goes Diggs in motion. Anthony Davis, who scored 6 touchdowns against the Irish last year, is stopped by Greg Collins, a junior from Troy. Let's watch Collins' videotape.
6'3", 220-pound junior.
Here's a young man from Michigan. We missed getting him at Michigan State. He's playing very well for Notre Dame, number 50, Greg Collins. He saved a long gainer there. Anthony was on his way.
Southern California has big splits in their offensive line. Watch them here as they come up, and you'll see how much pressure they put on the defenders.
Notre Dame with 2 starting defensive freshmen, both great athletes, Browner and Bradley. 3rd and 5 for SC. Hayden in trouble, in the end zone, gets it away. And let's see if that's grounding of the ball. Ross Browner, whom we told you was a freshman, one of the 2, they are fantastic athletes, those 2 young men playing for Notre Dame.
And a lot of people, Chris, thought that was intentional grounding.
I think it was.
Moore was in the general area. Let's watch Browner. He's number 89, freshman end. He's blocked momentarily here by Moore. Jumping up in the air, and as Hayden tries to roll out, Browner's got him back here, and he threw the ball, and Moore was standing just to the left of the screen.
And now James Lucas from Arcadia, California. A big rush in. Notre Dame will get the ball inside the SC 35. Tim Rudnick put the pressure on Lucas, the punter. The punt went 15 yards, and Notre Dame has the ball in a scoreless game. 9:23 to go, first quarter in South Bend.
The game is split seconds, and that pass is a little bit high. He had to jump in the air to get it, and that little bit of delay put the pressure on by Notre Dame.
As you see, the ball is just short of the 28 hash mark in SC territory as Clements goes to work. Bullock, Pennick, and Diminick in the backfield. There's Pennick. Pennick, who this year has not come up to the expectations, carried on the play, although he does have 230 yards in 5 games. Charles Anthony, along with Monty Doris, make the stop.
Very interesting statistic. 20 of 22 Southern California starters from California, and 18 of the 20 are from Southern California. Notre Dame, a truly national recruiting school.
Pennick now in motion, 44 on the 2nd and 10. Casper going out, Demerly there. Pete Demerly, first down at the 12, beating Charles Phillips, number 49 on the play, and Notre Dame, after a 16-yard play, here it is again,
This
85.
is that crossing pattern that Errol likes so well, Doug.
That's right, that bootleg action, that take the counter, and then we call that a counter pass.
Number 2 is Tom Clements from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, a junior. He has a 1st and 10 at the SC-12, no score. Gets to the 9.
Boy, they're playing hard. It looked to me like he had daylight there, and all of a sudden it just collapsed on him.
Ray Rodriguez, number 52, a senior linebacker, in on the play for the Southern California defense. Incidentally, they are tough not only up front, but their secondary has 17 interceptions in 6 games. So it's dangerous to pass against them. Although Tom Clements did hit Demerly, who now goes to the left, number 85, for a big gain as we have a 2nd and 7.
I think they've got to throw to get it in the end zone against this team.
Right. Diminick in motion. There's a Pennick going for a loss of 6 yards by Rodriguez, whom we just mentioned. Back-to-back tackles by number 52 in the white Trojan jersey here in South Bend.
They had everybody else wiped out. It's a good thing he made a sure tackle.
3rd and 13.
Bud, you couldn't have been more prophetic, because that speed on the Southern Cal defense certainly caught Pennick.
Bullock is number 30. Pennick is 44. 28 is Diminick outside his left end. Both ends are tight. Diminick in motion. Here's Clements looking in the end zone. Casper is there. Casper is wide open in the end zone. The pass, however, went to Demerly. Casper. Wow, there he is.
Let's watch him. Here he is, the tight end. Clements was pressured very hard running, but watch how open Casper is here in the end zone. There's nobody with him, and he sets up now, but Clements could not see him because of the hard rush put on by Southern California.
And
field goal attempt.
And of course, it's easy for us who sit high above the stand to spot an open receiver. If only a quarterback had our view, he would be sensational.
You got those big 6'4" people rushing him.
That's right. 32 yards from the 22 plus the 10 of the end zone. Bob Thomas's kick is up, and it's good. Notre Dame leads 3-0. 32-yarder. And there's that song. Notre Dame is in the lead 3-0. We'll be back. Felt hat, an owner of a championship team, Oakland, and he is an Indiana farmer in LaPorte, Indiana. Mr. Charles Fenley and Mrs. Fenley watching the Notre Dame game. The Irish leading 3-0. Bud.
He's getting double use out of that green coat.
And look who's deep, Anthony Davis. Last year he returned 2 kicks, 97 yards and 96 yards, and they squibbed one away from him. Number 44 of SC has it, a boy that can move. He's the fullback, Manfred Moore. And Southern California, trailing 3-0, will try to move the ball from their own 35 with 7:03 remaining in the first quarter.
And by trying to kick it away, they did give Southern California good field position. Normally, you don't expect to get a kick out beyond the 25 or 26 against a team like Notre Dame. It's on the 35.
J.K. McKay, the coach's son, 25 to the far side of the field. Swan is in the slot from the 35, first down. Hayden giving to Anthony Davis, the junior from San Fernando.
one of the things that interests me about the Southern California I formation is the depth of their tailback. He's about 7.5 yards back, and if you've only got normal speed at tailback, that's a little bit too deep. It takes too long to get to the line of scrimmage, but with the speed of the Southern California tailbacks, gives them time to read the defense.
We have a change in the backfield now. Just ahead of Davis, whom Bud was talking about, will be Ken Gray at fullback, number 37 from San Pedro, on a 2nd and 7 from the 38. Davis. Oh, he gives it his full effort, and a flag is down. Number 7 may have hit late. Rudnick. Davis, number 28, getting up as Gary Potempa was the first there, number 40.
We've got 3 officials here from the Pac-8 and 3 from the Big Ten.
Chris, that was rather a technical call, in a game that's there's so much enthusiasm on the part of the players, and both teams are going at each other hot and heavy. That was just a little bit late. I don't think that it weren't a defensive.
Well, certainly there was no intent there of any kind.
He wasn't trying to pile on.
All right, Gray is out. Moore comes back in the backfield of SC, and they get their initial first down by way of penalty at the Notre Dame 42, Bud.
A penalty like that, though, does tell both teams the officials are in charge, and that's a good thing to establish.
And Davis comes right back, a boy that's carried the ball a lot of times this year, 137 coming into the game with 517 yards. And look at what he's done. Last year, what a day against Notre Dame.
Those 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in a single quarter, 36 points, longest scoring kickoff return, 97 yards, all against the Fighting Irish last year by Anthony Davis.
All right, going to the far side, 25, McKay. In the slot is Swan, 22, 2nd and 6. There's Swan. And once he gets it, he knows what to do with it. As Greg Collins rides him down, Swan has moved the Trojans, highly ranked, defending national champions, to about the 11, 20 yards.
This boy is set at wingback, 6 feet, 180, but perhaps the best athlete on the field. At least that's Johnny McKay's feeling about him. Watch him jump here as he catches the ball. And look at that agility as he comes right down on both feet to pick up the extra yardage. He is some athlete. Does remind me of Johnny Rogers.
That was a 26-yard play from the 12 now. It's 1st and 10 SC as Notre Dame leads 3-0. And with the partisan fans, it's very difficult. And Duffy Doherty, having coached Michigan State here often, knows what we're talking about.
Chris, I think that Hayden will come of age today. This is the first time he's quarterbacked the Trojan team. And I'll tell you, we've had some quarterbacks really go through a lot with this partial crowd. It's hard to hear the signals. It's almost impossible. I used to instruct our quarterback to don't put the ball in play if you can't hear.
Matt Hayden.
I used to feel, Chris, when we played here that we never wanted to be at the north end of the field in front of that student body trying to score. We'd a lot rather have it down here in the south end of the field.
You had the kind of teams you could call your shot. We had to score any place we could.
Oh, listen to that. All right. Now McKay 25, Swan 22 to the far side or to the right of your screen. 1st and 10, SC at the 12. Notre Dame leading 3-0. Here's Davis. Out of bounds at the 2.
I think they heard that signal all right, Bud. That was a pitch sweep with Davis. That's probably his favorite play. He ran inside the defensive contain and all the way down to the 2-yard line.
This is a drive that started at the SC 35. We'll see about it missed the first down, I believe, by, the length of a football. Remember, they were at the 12. But now there is a measurement to make sure where the ball will be placed in the hash marks here on the Notre Dame football field.
What this is really going to mean is that they're probably going to pick up the first down, and they've got 7 snaps to score from about the 3-yard line.
Right. So now it'll be a 2nd down and the length of a football as we have 4:29 to go in the first quarter. If you just joined us, Notre Dame kicked a 32-yard field goal about 3 minutes ago. Thomas kicking it for the Fighting Irish. So they lead 3-0, but SC is threatening.
I think Coach McKay would just as soon score on one play, Bud. I don't think he wants to take all 7 of them.
You want to put those points on the board. I agree.
All right, the Trojans ranked number 4 or number 5, according to which poll you follow. 2nd down and inches inside the 5 of Notre Dame. Hayden. It It didn't appear that he gained an inch. Duffy Doherty says he did.
Very safe play to call, though. No way you're going to fumble that one.
Right.
I would think they'd at least have another measurement. I think he made it. Of course, I've been wrong a lot of times, not only in my coaching, but in my decisions.
He's got that great depth perception from here, though.
I've got great hindsight, though.
Bud mentioned 3 from the Pac-8, the officials. Jury Mark Bright is a referee. The umpire is Chadwick Reed. The head linesman Dale Oram. The field judge James Cheffers. Back judge William Quemby. And Jack Roberts is the line judge. And Duffy, you were right. First and goal inside the 2.
And Duffy kind of says, ho hum.
Because of his superior coaching as a collegian at Syracuse by Bud Wilkinson.
I predict they give the ball to Anthony Davis, just right up off tackle.
Ahead of Davis is 44 Moore. Talk about being hit as a ball carrier, Davis. High, low, and in the middle.
Let's watch it from ground level. This will give you some idea of the takeoff of the line, the impact, and watch Davis try to go up and over. There he has the ball, and he's in the air, and he is hit.
This time, Bud, we'll see a quarterback sneak. I think Hayden's going to score his first touchdown of the game right here. They'd have wham the bam, bam, Cunningham, here it goes.
Oh, a fumble! Hayden may have recovered his own fumble, bringing up a 3rd down. Let's watch. Watch the referee, Jury Markbright, in the white cap. He's the boss.
And a great stand by Notre Dame.
Goal line defense by the Fighting Irish, who lead 3-0. And next week, LSU at Mississippi, 4 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be there. And Johnny Vaught, who has returned to Ole Miss to coach him, will probably put up a great battle against LSU, highly ranked.
It's a sectional rivalry, but it's got all of the same enthusiasm that this one does.
All right, we can't wait to get to Jackson, Mississippi to do that telecast. We're enjoying this. We hope you are. And again, it's the team that these young ladies are supporting, the Trojans that come back to their huddle. These Notre Dame fans are really something, and now they're back out. 3rd down.
Here comes the crowd noise again. Now they're not going to stop.
Davis going outside. Good blocking. There's one for Anthony Davis today. It is 6-3, Southern California. A 65-yard march in 9 plays.
Let's watch it again. This is the famed Southern California sweep. Moore leading out ahead of him. And Davis has got superior speed. Moore made a really remarkable block, reaching out ahead of, I think, Townsend to knock him off his feet.
And Chris Limahilo has just kicked the extra point. 2:22 to go, first quarter. It is 7-3. Like getting into the act, a low-flying single-engine airplane towing a banner, which is between our ABC camera and the Goodyear blimp Mayflower and the Notre Dame Stadium here in South Bend. As SC has just gone 65 yards in 9 plays, they lead 7-3. Brad Rice kicking to Hunter or to Deminick. That's Deminick over on the far side at the 9, coming up to the 15, now hits the 20, and then is brought down by one of the Trojan defenders, number 46 again, Danny Reese, who made the last tackle on an SC kickoff, which started the football game.
You can see the scoring drive, 65 yards in 9 plays. Going into this game, Notre Dame was leading the country in total defense, 141.2 yards a game. They were second in rushing defense, 52 yards a game, and second in defense against scoring. So that gives you some idea of the potency of this Southern California attack.
There's the man Hayden, who threw 6 touchdown passes in the last 2 games. Davis scored the touchdown for SC as Clements of Notre Dame hands off to Wayne Bullock, his fullback, number 30, on a first down from the 23. Monty Doris making the tackle.
Boy, he stood in there like a rock.
We've got two highly charged football teams out in that field. They're playing with a reckless abandon. That's what makes football such a great game.
2 undefeated, highly ranked teams traditionally meeting in this classic game each autumn. Demerly. There you see Clements, number 2, the junior quarterback, on a 2nd and 8. 7-3, SC leads. And the senior, Deminick, is across the 30. Rodriguez is having quite an afternoon, along with number 49, Charles Phillips.
And number 83,
Wood.
Yeah, Woods again, the linebacker, in on the play. See him read here. It's a sweep called, and he could have overrun this to the outside. He's moving out, but as the ball carrier cut back to the inside, he stopped, reached, had a hand on the tackle.
Now it's 3rd down and 2 for Notre Dame. 7-3 is the score. Eric Hennick from Cleveland, Ohio, gets the first down, a 12-yard gain. Cobb and Parker on the tackle.
Pennick showed that tremendous burst of speed that we all know that he had.
Other scores, Dartmouth is upsetting Harvard 7-3 in the first quarter. Same score that we have here. Penn leading Princeton 10-0 in the first quarter. 1st and 10 now for Notre Dame at the 42. Pennick in motion. Clements. Looping one to Deminick. And Deminick, more than, well, he wanted to catch it naturally, but he was in traffic, so he wanted to break it up.
Boy, the speed of
Parker could intercept.
Parker and Cobb have got so much speed back there. It appeared that he was going to be out in the open, and they just simply closed on him, and there was no place to put that ball.
And they have 17 interceptions, Bud, that secondary for SC coming into this game. That's quite a number.
I can understand it with the speed that they've got.
Now from the 42, we have Goodman, 21, in the lineup, along with Deminick, 28, and Bullock, 30. The former tackle, Casper, is inside the SC 45. A first down, Notre Dame.
That's what we call splitting the zone. Southern Cal was in a deep zone defense, and Casper just went between the up man and the back man, Bud.
Well, the man in motion took Reese back out of the play and opened it up inside. The linebackers can't get out quickly enough to cover the tight end when he breaks into the flat.
Casper now has caught 2 today, 15 on the year. 1st and 10 at the 44. SC leads 7-3. Goodman in motion. Oh, that play was diagnosed early by the SC defense. Deminick. 52, Rodriguez in on the play, along with 55, Anthony. And there's a loss of 2 back to the 46, 2nd and 12.
Anthony, linebacker who's replaced Sims for Southern California, reading, and he just simply did not take any of that reverse fake and closed right on the ball carrier.
Well, that was a fast-moving first quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed the action as ABC Sports has brought it to you. The first period with Southern California leading Notre Dame by a score of 7-3. Stay tuned. Musical support to the charming cheerleaders from SC, the 175-member Trojan Band, coming to the Midwest for the first time in many years. A flag is down as Clements on a 2nd and 12 play on the first snap of the second quarter hits Deminick, but let's see what the call will be.
Chris Deminick was obviously in motion illegally. It'll be backfield in motion. He was going forward before the snap of the ball. When you start in motion, you have to go obliquely, away from the line of scrimmage.
What's the reason for the NCAA's growth? The strength of its members. The over 750 institutions and conferences, which are the NCAA, know that together, the interests of intercollegiate athletics and the student athlete can best be served. This unification has created a viable force in amateur athletics, the NCAA. And their finest on display here in South Bend, Indiana, is Indiana. 60% chance of rain. We've had about 2 weeks of flawless autumn weather as the trees are changing. Beautiful countryside here. Of course, we're prejudiced. 2nd down and 17. Look out.
Boy, he's got some speed.
That was Tom Clements, number 2.
First quarter statistics, Notre Dame leading 86 total yards against 50, and Harry Parsegan's game plan, don't let Southern California have the ball working. The Irish had it 9 minutes and 22 seconds to 5:33, but they are behind 7-3.
As far as obviously grounding a pass, but the college rules say that It doesn't have to be an eligible receiver. It can be a lineman. Any time there's a receiver next to the ball, it's not intentionally grounding.
Now it's 3rd down and 17 from the 49 of Notre Dame. In motion is Goodman. And Bullock carries the ball. A 3rd and 17 call, keeping it on the ground. And it's a punting situation now as Hayden, number 10, gets ready along with J.K. McKay.
And that motion penalty was only 5 yards, but it took away a first down on the Southern California 30-yard line. So that was a big penalty. Bad error.
Davis is number 28, who scored the only touchdown of the ball game as SC leads 7-3, 14-19 remaining in the first half. There's Anthony Brian Doherty gets ready to punt. Very fine punter. Look at that ball sail. Wow. 48 yards because it went into the end zone, but it traveled. Oh,
that's a statistic, though, Chris. It always bothers me. It's a 48-yard punt, but it only netted 28 because it's going to come back out to the 20.
That's right.
Well, Chris, he should be able to punt with a name like that. Doherty, you know.
Got it.
Some of us Dohertys are complainers, not kickers.
All right. 1st and 10 now for SC. Last time they had the ball, they went 65 yards in 9 plays. Davis scoring. Now they have the ball at their own 20, 1st down. And that was Davis. Isn't he a quick starter? But filling the hole beautifully on the play was Gary Potempa from Niles, Illinois.
But he made his cut there sooner than he usually does. He didn't even start toward the line of scrimmage before he veered.
I didn't know whether they called a veer or not. It occurred to me that it might have been a called veer buck rather than the straight-ahead blast play.
Drew Mahalik also was in on that last tackle. We must give him credit. He's a good one. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. SC with the ball. Davis. A marker is down.
Notre Dame, I think, Southern California. And they're trying to get the 5-yard penalty if the Irish decide to take it.
Gray, the fullback, was blocking number 37 ahead of Davis, number 28, who has 8 rushes, 30 yards, and 1 touchdown. For the Trojans, who are undefeated in 6 games, defending national champions. And there's that airplane again. And there you see the changing colors of the leaves on the hardwood trees here in Indiana and the stadium. Procedure against SC, so that brings the ball back 5 yards to the 16. 2nd down and 14. SC leading 7-3. Next week it'll be LSU, Mississippi from Jackson, Mississippi here on ABC. We look forward to that one, Bud.
Oh, yes. Johnny Vaught taking over again, and John, one of the great coaches in football.
Manfred Moore, the fullback, stopped by Drew Mahalik and Greg Collins. That play went from the 16. There are the changing colors of the leaves. Nature's landscape has done a great job.
And the Notre Dame campus and the Golden Dome.
There you are, and there's the Trojan fans' idea of what should happen to the Gremlin. All right, now, it's a 3rd down and 7. Manfred Moore catching another pass, and Drew Mahalik. Greg Collins.
Notre Dame has been lining up in their 4-4, and then on each play, right before the ball is snapped, they jump into a 5-2. I've been waiting for them to stay in the 4-4, Duff. I'm sure Southern Cal was sort of waiting for them to come in before they snap the ball.
The 2nd SC punt now.
Had the ball 3 times, they've scored once, been stopped twice.
James Lucas punting. Zaynot, Bob Zaynot is deep, number 34, getting the ball at the 41. The punt traveled 34 yards. So we'll be back with the Notre Dame offense in a minute. Seconds remaining in the first half. SC leading Notre Dame 7-3. Notre Dame scored first, a 32-yard field goal by Bob Thomas. Then on the next series, SC went 65 yards in 9 plays, Davis scoring the touchdown. So now Notre Dame following an SC punt, 1st and 10 at the 41. Tom Clements, number 2, looking for Casper. All receivers covered. But he does spot Demerly. And let's see what the official rules, whether he was out of bounds. Apparently so. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as Charles Anthony forced Demerly out.
Very, very hard to rush a passer when he's rolling. This is Demerly coming across the field. Same motion with Clements, who was running to the right of the screen. He's up, and he came down well out of bounds. He might not have if he hadn't been hit so hard by Reese.
What a hard-hitting ball game. 25 wins for Notre Dame, 15 for SC since 1926. But in the last 6 years, it's been SC as Pennock for Notre Dame carries. Pennock out to about the 44. It'll bring up a 3rd down and approximately 7. Ray Rodriguez.
And
there he is,
playing for Sims. Look at him fight off the block, stand his ground, wait, and here comes Pennock, and Rodriguez makes the tackle.
There is Coach John McKay. Great coach, great guy, who has his son at end, number 25, J.K. McKay, resting now. It's the SC defense on a 3rd and 7 against Notre Dame. Demerly, 1st down. And he has reached the SC 42, tripped up by Dale Mitchell.
Just one of those little drag patterns. Watch Demerly going to be isolated on him, and he just doesn't make much of a move as the play starts. You can see him lining up at a tight end position this time, taking the block. Now just kind of wandering around, drifting, and there comes the pass. The linebacker just forgot about him, as did the secondary, and he found the open slot for the 1st down.
Notre Dame, a team that's averaged 323 yards rushing per game. Deminick in motion. Clements gives to Deminick. On a 1st and 10, Mitchell, 85, stays with the play, allowing no gain.
They've got some speed. That Mitchell at end simply went right with the toss.
Say, look at that week of Thanksgiving here on ABC. Talk about it, Bud.
Well, going into today's game, 7 of these teams are undefeated. Notre Dame, Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Michigan, Ohio State, and Southern California, all undefeated. So that's going to be some week of football, some weekend.
Thanksgiving weekend right here on ABC. More about it later. Now 2nd down and 10 from the 42 of SC. Clements, the 23, Art Best. Best did not start the ball game, Bud. Was there a reason for it?
I don't really think so, at least not to my knowledge. He's been their soundest running back. He's averaged 5.4 yards per carry this season. Looking at that Thanksgiving weekend again with 2 games on Thursday, 1 on Friday, and 2 on Saturday, I don't know whether the wives of America are happy or sad.
And don't forget the starting time on the Alabama LSU, 5:30 Baton Rouge time, 6:30 Eastern. Pennock of Notre Dame getting more yardage, close to a 1st down. Dale Mitchell again upending Pennock, number 44.
They didn't give him any extra yardage on that one, I'll guarantee you.
Wow.
That was an unusual spot.
I thought so.
You know, it's where the ball was. Sometimes I wonder. A knee looks a lot different than a football.
Well, he called that one where his body first touched the ground. It's going to be close, but...
And of course, it's the way the ball was turned, as it was for a little.
This one really isn't more than an inch. That's as close a measurement as I've seen. Had he straightened up the ball, it would have been 1st down Notre Dame, but it was on a little angle, and the referee handled it gingerly and properly.
Well, and here we are with a 4th down. Last time they had a situation like this, Notre Dame had a too long in the huddle penalty. They better hurry. You only have 25 seconds in college football to snap it. Clements, number 2. 4th down, inches. And let's see what they call here. Anthony, 55, was on top, and he thinks they held.
No, they didn't, Chris.
I think they made it.
Unbalanced line that time to the top of the screen from the power eye. Fine defensive play, though. Anthony really did close.
Well, here we come.
He only had an inch to go. He made it.
Richard Wood believed that the SC defense held. Well, there you have it. A Notre Dame 1st and 10. Let's watch Anthony, 55.
Let's take a look at this fine linebacker, Anthony, number 55. He makes a great play here on knocking off the fullback Bullock and also making the tackle. That's sorting out all the ball carriers and getting the one that you want to hang on to.
And the linebacker was in the line that time.
That's right.
8:51 to go. First half at 7-3. Southern California leading. That's Wayne Bullock on a first down play for Notre Dame, getting inside the SC 30. Now coming in for the SC defense is number 70, Art Riley, a defensive tackle. Leaving the lineup is number 73, Greg Mandarian.
And good ball control by Notre Dame. They've had 30 offensive plays to 15 for Southern California. There's the statistic.
All right, it's second down and 7 now for Notre Dame at the SC 29. The Trojans leading the Irish 7-3. Best carrying. And Best to the 25. Rodriguez and Anthony, 55. Tom Pagna in the dark blue Notre Dame jacket.
Notre Dame's right on schedule on ball control because they have 2 more downs now to make 4 yards. It's a long 3, about 3.5.
All right, Notre Dame in the navy blue jerseys, the gold helmets, SC in the red, white, and gold. They lead 7-3. Third down and 3. Notre Dame. Pinnock trying for it. It appears that he got it. Forward progress marked at the 21. That should do it.
Well, I am impressed with the pursuit of Southern California. They really close around that ball.
No wonder they're 77 Notre Dame limping off the field. That is Steve.
Well, let's take a look at Woods again. Made that trick play. The goalie, number 83, drifting, fighting off the blockers. And here comes Pinnock, and here comes Woods. A very solid hit, but he was moving laterally, and Pinnock overpowered him for the extra yardage.
All right, now to the 21, first down.
One of those times they guessed right. Shot the gap with the linebackers right into the heart of the play.
Loss of 2, Charlie Phillips, the rover back. In on number 44, Eric Pinnock, 6'1", 213-pound back for the Fighting Irish.
We're going to see something wide open here.
I think you'll see a bootleg pass or a rollout or a counter pass, something from running action, with Clement rolling and either throwing or keeping.
Clements is number 2. He's the quarterback who's now under the center, Mark Brenneman. He's thrown 8 times, completing 4. Best in motion. Bullock carries the ball. Bullock.
I think you called it right, Duff. Southern Cal was playing for the play you called.
Dale Mitchell on the tackle, but Notre Dame is inside the 15 to the 14. They need 3 more yards with a third down play. Big upset in the making in the Ivy League. Dartmouth 24, Harvard 3. 17-0 Penn over Princeton. Yale leading Cornell 7-3. Here it's 7-3. SC leading, Notre Dame threatening. At the 14. Third down. Fourth down coming up.
Oh, boy, did they close on that one.
And that was Gary Jeter, a freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, number 79.
Appeared that they almost ignored all of the backfield faking.
He was the most sought-after lineman in the state of Ohio this last year, and I wonder how he ended up at Southern Cal. That's certainly good recruiting anyway.
A freshman, 6'5", 250.
Well, I think I would enjoy playing under John McKay. He makes football fun. He's really a very refreshing. He's certainly a great credit to the game.
Bob Thomas, who kicked a 32-yard field goal, will now try another from approximately the same distance. 22 plus 10 of the end zone. It's up, and it's... Thomas is 2 for 2, and it's 7-6 here in South Bend, Indiana. A pair of 32-yard field goals, a Davis touchdown by SC, and it's 7-6 as we'll return. Founded by French priests, Notre Dame University, and its famous Golden Dome here in South Bend, Indiana. This is where football tradition got its early beginning, no question about it.
The names of Notre Dame history.
Chris, that score 7-6, that's the spirit that prevails here, the spirit of 76.
Anthony Davis was deep. They kick away from him. And the flag goes down. As the ball went out of bounds at the 24, it'll be re-kicked from the 35.
And that's Notre Dame's game plan working effectively, even though they're 1 point behind. They've had the ball twice as long as Southern California.
The dumb athlete, well, the NCAA does not believe in that image. The NCAA is committed to the ideal of the student athlete. Its rules and regulations are made with thought in mind, that the athlete must also be a student. And in deciding things which are good for the athlete, the NCAA also takes into account what's good for the student.
That spin kick could result in an onside kick if Southern California is not careful.
I'd be careful about kicking the ball to Carter, too, number 21. He was a sprint champ in high school. John McKay thinks a lot of him.
You just don't want to kick it off to these people, that's all.
Try an onside kick. Your chances are just as good.
Bob Thomas, who has kicked 2 field goals today, lets one go. And Davis. Now there was a beautiful kick.
He drilled that in there sort of like Nicholas driving one on a 520-yard hole against the wind. Find that open spot and then wheel it in there.
All right, so the ball will come out to the 20. And it'll be SC. They scored their touchdown, marching 65 yards in 9 plays. Davis scoring from about a yard. And Notre Dame has scored on 2 32-yard field goals by Bob Thomas. 5:26 to go in the first half. It's 7-6. Hope you're enjoying the telecast from South Bend as Hayden pitches to Davis. Anthony Davis. Sherm Smith submarining underneath. Number 55 from Chillicothe, Missouri.
I remember playing against Mike Garrett when I was coaching at Oklahoma, and every time he'd get the ball, I'd just hold my breath because it looked like he's going to take it all away, and I get the same impression with Davis. Anytime he touches it, you think that he might really pop it.
Now, 27, Bud comes into the SC backfield. He can pop it, too.
That's Rod McNeil. Averaging 5 yards per carry so far this season.
So it's 2nd down and 8 from the 22 for the Trojans. Hayden gives to Moore, the fullback, the up back, as Duffy would say. And Greg Collins is in on the tackle.
Number 50, the linebacker for Notre Dame.
Here's this fine young broth of a lad from Michigan, from Detroit. Collins, a truly fine linebacker, stops.
He really slid those blockers, ducked by 2 of them, and then made that perfect form tackle.
All right, Lynn Swan at the bottom of your screen in the white jersey, 22. Watch for him on a 3rd and 5. McKay is opposite. J.K. McKay. Hayden looks upfield. McKay is there. It was a bullet. It was high. And it went through the hands of the coach's son, great young man, J.K. McKay. And his brother, who is 14, took the red-eye flight from Los Angeles to come see his brother play here in South Bend today.
After playing quarterback for his junior high school team last night. That last play is something we can look for in the second half. The mobility of the Notre Dame defensive line rushing the passer when they know it's going to be a passing down can have a momentous effect on the final outcome of this battle.
It was a very wide snap, but gotten off beautifully by Lucas after the bad snap. And Notre Dame again has excellent field position as the punt traveled only 22 yards. Notre Dame will take over at the 47 of SC. There is the shot of South Bend, Indiana, and more particular Notre Dame Stadium from the ABC camera in the Goodyear blimp. This is natural turf. They need the Purdue agronomists to make it a little better.
Have a little fungus on it this year.
Okay. Notre Dame with the 1st and 10 from the 47. In the backfield, Ara Parsegan has Corman at fullback, 15, 28 Dominic, and 21 Goodman.
Keeping everybody fresh, playing a lot of men.
I would say that his progress was rudely interrupted there by Wood.
Wood, 83, Anthony, 55. Incidentally, speaking of linemen, the Notre Dame lineman, Steve Quayle, has indicated to one of our men on the sideline that he'll be back in the lineup. Clement handing off now to Russ Kornman, a sophomore from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, who gets to the 39. There he is.
He starts quickly.
Anthony on the tackle. The officials put it at the 40. Well, they don't give you an inch. If anything, they deny you inches, the officials. I can't understand it. The ball, well, nevertheless. Here I am, second-guessing the officials. I don't mean to.
We've got a long way to go yet.
I know, but the ball, move forward, it should be placed there. And this is a Purdue guy saying that for Notre Dame. Most unusual.
Yeah, I believe it.
Jeter, 79, in on Kornman. And don't forget Woods.
All right, let's watch Richard Wood, that great All-American linebacker from Southern Cal. McKay says the best he's ever had. Watch him He always has his shoulders facing upfield, as a good defensive player should have.
First and 10. What a game. 7-6. SC leads. Here's Clements. Out goes Demerly. Demerly has it. Demerly is brought down by Marvin Cobb, 24 of Riverside, California. That's where they race a lot.
Wonderful play action in the Notre Dame backfield to give Demerly the time and the room, and this is just the turn-in pattern. Nothing fancy about the pattern, but the backfield faking took the linebackers out.
All right, it's another 1st and 10 for the Fighting Irish at the 23 of SC. That's Dominican motion. Hornman stopped in his tracks by Charles Anthony of Fresno, number 55. Don't forget there will be a Chevrolet Offensive and Defensive Player of the Game awards here today. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
Minute 55 remaining. Clements took time out. He wants to be certain on 2nd down and 10 in this good field position from the 23-yard line that he's got Ara Parsegian's plan well in mind. You can see them there discussing what action to take.
The intense coach of Notre Dame, extremely successful, a man who gives a lot of his time to things other than football.
He's done a great job as national chairman for the multiple sclerosis campaign. His family had a little problem with that disease, and Ara's given a great deal of time and personality to the drive.
Those stars in the helmet, I'm sure, for doing something outstanding in a previous game. When you throw a couple of touchdown passes, if you're a quarterback, or you show some good field generalship, well, you get a star if you pick the outstanding player of the game.
You make a play that is above and beyond what you would normally expect an average good job to be.
Well, I think the stars should also go to the SC cheerleaders.
They may move up in the Sedaris Howard standings.
All right. Now it's going to be 2nd down and 10, and incidentally, Russ Kornman, 15, was shaken up on the last play, so Bullock is back in as we look at Anthony, 55, coming up to Phil. 2nd and 10. Clements. What a saving catch by Pete Demerly.
Some catch.
That had interception on it all the way. Demerly came back. Watch Demerly come back to the ball. The ball could have been intercepted. Demerly turns around and actually comes back about 5 yards to the ball and makes a fantastic reception.
And now they're measuring again to see if it was a 1st down.
And time beginning to be a factor. 1 minute and 46 seconds remaining.
The weatherman predicted showers, and it is now raining here in northwestern Indiana.
That field, having had that problem with the fungus, could tear up very, very quickly if we get very much rain.
So it'll be 3rd down and less than the length of a football for Notre Dame. They trail 7-6 with 1:41 to go in the 1st half. Best in motion. Good call. 1st and goal at the 8. Tom Clements, who started this drive at the SC 47 following a short punt, has moved it to the 9.
Clock will start as soon as the chains are set, and it has started. 1:31. Notre Dame out of the huddle quickly.
Notre Dame has 2 timeouts left. I'm sure that they're not going to try to rush anything. They're going to try to get 7 points instead of 3.
Ooh. Pennock battling for yardage. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. There he is, number 44, who drew a crowd, including number 52 Rodriguez and 24 Cobb and Parker 14. For Central Time, Wide World of Sports, which incidentally will be on twice weekly starting in January 1974. That's right, another version on Sunday afternoon. More about that later. Right now, Notre Dame with 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining in the 1st half. With a 2nd and goal from approximately the 9, they trail 7-6. Pass down to the 1.5. Anthony on the tackle.
Southern California has taken their last timeout. 59 seconds remaining on the clock. Notre Dame, I should have said,
This will be the 10th play in this drive. First down's Notre Dame 10, SC 3.
Here's an amazing statistic.
Third and 2, third and goal. Coming up, they trail 7-6. And don't forget at halftime, it'll be the Trojan band that has traveled all the way from California. They staged various benefits, played at all sorts of grand openings to raise $25,000 to make the trip to South Bend for the first time since 1927. The Irish band will be on hand as well.
Notre Dame has used up all of their timeouts. They have no timeouts remaining, so if they have a running play that doesn't score, it'll take them another 25 seconds or so to get ready for the snap.
Third and goal. Nice, Bolger, Brenneman, DiNardo, Sylvester are up on the line now.
They probably called 2 plays in the huddle.
The officials say that it is not in. It was Wayne Bullock.
Then you can see the Notre Dame team hurrying back to the huddle now as the clock is running.
And it is 4th down, Bud.
And it's
4th down.
You're correct, and it's so close to that goal line.
Yes, it is.
Big play.
Best in motion. Touchdown, Clements. 47 yards, 11 plays, and Notre Dame leads 12-7.
Tom Bolger has done some magnificent blocking for Notre Dame on that little quarterback counter play.
30 seconds left in the first half.
Bud, I think you can understand why I used to talk so much about our games with Notre Dame. The atmosphere was always filled with the same sort of tension we have here today. We've got a great ball game on our hands.
Bob Thomas, who has kicked 2 field goals, each 32 yards, will now try his first point after today. Doherty holding. Kick is up. It's good. And are the Irish happy here in South Bend as they have gone out to a 13-7 halftime lead before a partisan crowd, another capacity crowd. It's a sellout for the 47th consecutive time.
4th down, 1 foot to go. Clements taking the ball, moving against the grain of the backfield, and finding that opening behind great blocks by Nice and Bolger. Another angle here, you can see the motion man. There's that great block that I was talking about. The hole opening up beautifully for Clements, and he's up, over, and in.
And don't forget, it'll be the kickoff now. Davis has gone deep.
They aren't going to kick this one very far, Chris. I don't believe it.
Well, I wouldn't
If they do, Era will be talking to that kicker.
47 yards, 11 plays. Clements scoring. And the student body cheering section below is shouting revenge. It's kicked away from Davis, but he gets it at the goal line. 5, 10, 15, look out, 20. Ooh, were they hitting down there? And there's a Notre Dame player that was really shaken up. In fact, the referee went, but he's getting up on his own. Number 34, that is Bob Zanat. Well, we have to give him credit because, Bud, he had the boom lowered on him. There he is.
I'll tell you, that Notre Dame specialty team covering that kickoff really moved down. They kicked it to the man that beat them last year, Anthony Davis. He only got it out to, what, the 23.
All right, first down. SC, Notre Dame leading 13-7. 27 seconds left on the clock. Hayden, the very poised quarterback for SC, throws out in the flat. And it's Swan, number 22. Luther Bradley, the freshman. Notre Dame has 2 freshmen, as we pointed out. Bradley of Muncie, Indiana, and Ross Browner, a defensive end from Warren, Ohio. They are spectacular athletes.
I asked Era how they were going to play Swan. He said, you've got to vary it. If we play too much man for man, he'll beat us. But that was one of those man for man coverages, and Bradley right on him.
Second down and 6 now from the 24. Hayden has thrown 7 times. He's completed 4. The touchdown for SC was scored by Davis, capping a 65-yard march. You just joined us. Notre Dame kicked 2 32-yard field goals, then went 47 yards following a short SC punt in 11 plays, with Clements scoring the go-ahead touchdown and the first one for the Irish. Irish in the navy blue on the right defensively, as SC will have a second down and 6 from approximately their own 28. 5 is McKay. Swan and McKay to the wide side of the field. And Hayden wants to hit one of them. Swan, interception. Ooh! Luther Bradley was knocked down by Mike Townsend, one of the Townsend brothers. Bradley was anxious, that's the freshman, to turn upfield. I wish he had had a chance.
If he had got it turned upfield, Chris, they're very close to field goal range.
He was one of the great basketball players here in the state of Indiana in high school, and here he is playing football as a freshman for Notre Dame.
And no timeouts remaining. They've got to throw some kind of a pass, get the ball out of bounds, and then hope for the field goal. Maybe they'll just settle for that lead, let the clock run out.
All right, the first turnover now. Notre Dame has it. Here's Clements. He's gone for 6. Lofting one out to Diminick. Knocking it away was Cobb, number 24, and 14, Parker.
That blows the chances for a field goal. Now there are only 3 seconds remaining with no timeouts. They wouldn't have a chance to take a timeout anyway, so they're going to have to go for the bomb.
Duffy and Budd, are you surprised that Notre Dame's leading here in the first half?
No, I'm not, Bud. I think that they've controlled the ball, but I do think that Southern Cal hasn't opened up with their long bombs yet to Swan and J.K. McKay.
Second down and 10 now. 2 seconds to go in the first half. Diminick. And that's it for the first half of the Notre Dame SC game, with the Fighting Irish leading 13-7. You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. Please stay tuned for this word from your local station.
The football.
There you see Bob Thomas, number 98, who has kicked 2 32-yard field goals, an extra point to go with the touchdown scored by the quarterback Clements.
The statistics of the first half: amazing ball control by the University of Notre Dame, holding the ball 20 minutes and 12 seconds to 9:48 for Southern California. Southern California did not make a second down in the second quarter. All 3 of Southern California's first downs were made in their touchdown drive of 65 yards during the first quarter.
12 chartered jet flights brought over 5,000 SC fans to watch their hero, number 28, Anthony Davis. Well, there's a beautiful little Pitts aerobatic airplane, little biplane that's a super machine. Here's Davis now, who's super at the 5, 10, 15, 20, moving to the 25, leaping over. Oh, he just lost his balance, or he'd have gone. Anthony Davis, 31 yards on the return, and the second half is underway. Yussil Bradovich is the tight end. Brown, Cordell, McCaffrey, Bain, Riley, and J.K. McKay in the backfield. Hayden Davis, Gray, and Swan.
And you can bet that Johnny McKay talked to them about, when we get the ball on offense, for heaven's sakes, let's keep it, let's move it.
Southern Cal can kill you with one play. They can go all the way any time with any one of their backs or their receivers.
It continues to drizzle here, so they'll be exchanging balls, trying to keep it dry. Hayden, first and 10 from about the 36. And Davis bombs his way up to the 40. Tim Rudnick on the tackle.
Notre Dame did a great job of closing off the big play by Southern California during their first half. The 2 largest gains by Southern California were a pass, Hayden to Swan for 20 yards, and then Davis ran 10 yards on one play when it was first down on the 12, just prior to the touchdown.
The temperature here is about 54 degrees as J.K. McKay comes over to the near sideline, number 25. The ball is at the 40, and there's his high school teammate, quarterback Pat Hayden. San Fernando, Anthony Davis carrying on the play, the junior tailback.
I think he made it, Chris. It's going to be close. Yes, I believe they gave the signal.
Southern Cal appears to have taken the attitude, let's run right at them, see if they can stop us.
Anthony Davis, in the tradition of Mike Garrett and another Heisman Trophy winner, and a colleague occasionally on football games, O.J. Simpson.
Leading the professional league at the moment in rushing.
Yes, sirree. Heck of a guy, too. All right, first and 10 now. Let's call it the 46 of SC. They have the ball, trailing 13-7. That's Alan Carter, who is one of the 3 tailbacks. It's McNeil 27, Carter 21, and Davis 28.
And that means they're fresh every moment.
And it is Carter who has moved the ball out to about midfield.
This is the first week that he's been healthy. He's a fine back. He's just as dangerous as Anthony Davis once he gets past the line of scrimmage.
Got good size, too, about 205 pounds. There's McNeil, 27. Over the ball now, Bob McCaffrey from Bakersfield, Frank Gifford's hometown. And Davis has reached the Notre Dame 42. Of course, Frank Gifford being a great halfback with the SC Trojans.
I look for Notre Dame to change their defense relatively soon. They're justifiably worried about the speed wide of Southern California. They're playing their tackles wide. The linebackers are back rather deep, and that gives it a little too much room to run inside.
You just joined us. SC has taken the second half kickoff by Notre Dame from their own 36. They have now reached the 42 of Notre Dame with a first down. Here is Carter. Alan Carter, stopped by Drew Mahalik of Birmingham, Michigan.
Made a great play. Instead of continuing in and getting behind the play, he came right down the line of scrimmage with it.
That was always a great play for Southern Cal last year because they had this big Tree Young over-blocking on that pitch sweep, and he did a fantastic job. It's difficult to replace fellas like that, like Young and Cunningham.
McKay, 25, 22 Swan, the top of your screen. It's going to be a second down and 10 now. Hayden, number 10, the quarterback. Ready to throw. Three receivers going out. Obradovic going deep as Swan. Oh! Was it tipped at the last moment by the freshman? Luther Bradley, the freshman from Muncie, I believe he tipped it at the last moment. What an athlete.
Looked like Swan had it. Let's take a look at it and see if Bradley gets his hands on it. Great player, 22, Lynn Swan, appears to be wide open, and Bradley did get a hand on the ball. He was just playing center field, and he had speed enough to get over there after the ball was in the air.
To think that he has 3 more years to play here.
Hayden hurt on the play, I believe. There's the ball again. You can see it just barely touch his hand, I believe. Well, I'm not sure that he picked it very much.
Rob Adolph is in at quarterback. Number 9, replacing Hayden. There he is, pitching out to Davis. Ooh, a loss to the 47 on a third down rather.
There was an offside by Southern Cal on the play. I'm sure it will be declined. The down, the loss.
Very tough circumstance for a quarterback to have to come in on third down and 10 with your team moving the ball almost down into field goal range.
So now it'll be fourth down and approximately 15.
Southern Cal did not punt very well in the first half. Their net yardage was 15 on one kick and 34 on the other kick.
James Lucas, once a bad snap, another time rushed hard. Tim Rudnick is deep. Here is Lucas's punt on a fourth down and 15. Fair catch, signaled for, and he almost lost it.
A lot of people are talking, Chris, about having to wave at the ball. It's very tough to catch it when you're waving on this year's rule.
Game leading 13-7. Notre Dame with 2 32-yard field goals, a scoring drive of 47 yards, while SC went 65 yards in 9 plays for their score. From the 15 now, first down. Tom Clements, who scored the Notre Dame touchdown, hands off to Pennock. Pennock gets good blocking. Pennock has a hole. Pennock is up 40. Pennock is the fastest man on the field. 85 yards. Pennock, living up to the expectations, showed his heels to some of the fastest backs in football. 85 yards. What a play.
I would say that Pennock range instead of pandemonium.
Out there, there's still 26 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this game. It's nowhere near over yet.
I'll tell you, that was an all-out effort by Eric Pennock. I doubt if he has ever tried that hard or run that fast, because he had to. He was being chased by some tremendously fast Trojan football players. And there's a happy coach. Unbelievably, Notre Dame leading highly ranked SC 19-7. Bob Thomas will try for a point after. He's the man with 2 field goals and an extra point. Now trying for his 8th point of the day. It's up. It's good. 85 yards, 1 play.
Just a very good inside fake on the touchdown. And almost a tackle there. Another one just barely missed. And now try to catch me, boys. And, yeah. This is Woods, the linebacker from Southern California, moving to the outside. He was delayed by that little bit of inside fake. He was partially blocked. He couldn't quite get over wide enough to get in front of Pennick. He reached, but he couldn't hold.
But this is what they'd expected out of Pennick the last 2 years. He's got that great burst of speed. Maybe he'll come into his own now and be the truly great back that everybody hoped he would be.
A year ago, number 28, Anthony Davis, scored twice on kickoff returns of 97 and 96 yards. There he is. He scored 6 touchdowns in a 45-23 win over Notre Dame. Bob Thomas has been kicking away. Now it's Davis going over. Number 21 has the ball, and that's Alan Carter. Carter falls forward to about the 29 on a 22-yard return. And on the tackle was Lipinski, Tom Lipinski. So, if you just joined us, you'll probably be surprised to hear that Notre Dame has a 20-7 lead over 4th-ranked Southern California. And good news for Trojan fans, Pat Hayden, number 10, the junior from West Covina, is in at quarterback.
They haven't moved the ball well, Chris, since their scoring drive, and it's getting that point in the game where their offense has got to move.
All right. Out goes Swan. Swan is there. Couldn't hang on to the ball as it continues to drizzle here in South Bend, Indiana. The ball will be tough to hang on to.
And Ohio State 41-0 in the 3rd quarter. 2nd quarter, Michigan rolling against Minnesota, and Thanksgiving Day it'll be Thanksgiving Saturday. That's right. It's Michigan against Ohio State at Ann Arbor.
How about the rest of those games, Bud, on Thanksgiving week here on ABC?
Well, the Illini are coming on. So Michigan State leading in the 2nd quarter over Purdue.
What a pity.
Well,
2nd down and 10 now for SC. Here's Pat Hayden. Out goes Swan again. Swan is there. That time he gets it. And he was given a lot of room by number 26, Tom Lipinski, who is playing cornerback instead of Reggie Barnett.
And we've got a flag down in the field as we watch Swan on a replay of the previous play.
And McKay is hurt.
Speed with which he goes down the field. There he's taking that sideline cut. The safety man tried to move over to cover him, but he was late getting there. And there's the tackle being made by Barnett. The Swan almost ducked under him, but he held on.
But you can't cover him too closely, otherwise he'll burn you deep on one of those horn patterns or an out and down.
J.K. McKay, number 25, the coach's son, was shaken up on the play, but he's moving around now. And I have to make the correction. Lipinski was not in the lineup. It was Barnett. I'm sorry. He may have been slugged, McKay. There's a personal foul penalty.
Here it is. This McKay coming down the field against number 14, Barnett. He made his little fake, and then McKay is trying to block. And,
wow.
I think that Barnett didn't think he ought to be blocking him, and obviously the official right there called it correctly.
All right. So now from the 42, 1st down. And Swan pushed out by Rudnick, number 7, Tim Rudnick.
They need to get somebody in front of that man. You're not going to be able, as Duffy said, to contain him. He's got so much speed, you've got to give him a little room, so a linebacker end's got to drop off in front of it here when he makes that curl.
There's another advantage right now that Southern Cal has. They're running away from the student body, and this chant won't hurt them quite as much as it did in the 1st half.
That's right. We're down to the proper end of the field if you're the visiting team.
Now it's Moore, Anthony Davis, as we look at Coach John McKay in the eye behind Pat Hayden on a 1st and 10 from the 27. Swan in motion. Anthony Davis. Notre Dame keyed up for this battle against higher-ranked Southern Cal.
And I've got to hope that it certainly does not rain enough to really spoil this field. The field has had some fungus. It's not quite as good a turf as normal here at South Bend, and if it rains hard, it's going to really become very slippery going.
the longest unbeaten streak in the nation, 23 games, is certainly in jeopardy right now.
21 wins, 2 ties, the 2 ties. So the team that has not been beaten by Notre Dame since 1966. And there's a long one. Swan is there. Touchdown. Boy, that was a tough call by the official. Swan pulls it in, beating Lipinski.
He was in position, too. I just don't know how he made the ball. Let's take a look at it. Here's Swan starting from his wingback position. And let's see where he comes down. The ball was really kind of up in the air. Hayden was rushed pretty well on the play. There's Lipinski right with him. And let's watch the ball now. Both men seeing it. And he simply just did not get his hand high enough. Watch his feet. And in college football, 1 foot in is all you need, and he definitely had it.
All right, now it's 20-13, and trying for the point after now. Chris Limahila does it. So it's now 20-14 with 9:51 to go. Swan now with 5 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown for the Trojans. We'll return with more action in a minute. There he is, Lynn Swan, getting that 1 foot inbounds in the end zone to catch the pass, touchdown pass from Hayden. So it's now 20-14 Notre Dame. Notre Dame returning the kick following the touchdown. Al Hunter, number 25, brings it out to about the 31. So and Notre Dame will try to score again.
And that's the statistic on that drive. They were behind 20-7. It was a situation where their offense really had to come to life, and they looked like champions on that drive. 70 yards, 6 plays, only 2 minutes and 21 seconds.
Knowing how Eric Persigian thinks, at least I think I know how he thinks, he'll probably come back shortly with that play to Pinnock again, but that sweep, that off-tackle play.
All right, now from the 31, over the ball is Mark Brenneman, the center. Tom Clements sends Pinnock in motion, who scored the last touchdown of 85 yards.
That's the same play.
Yes. That inside fake by the fullback Bullock contains those linebackers. Anthony and Wood both have great speed. They've got to respect Bullock coming over the ball, and that one-step delay gives Pinnock a little more room.
Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, we hope you're enjoying this game. You just joined us at the end of the first quarter. SC led 7-3. Notre Dame scored 10 points in the second quarter to lead at halftime 13-7. They scored an 85-yard run by Pinnock. SC has come back. It's now 20-14. Pinnock in motion. Second down and 6. Bullock for a hard yard or two. Monty Doris in on the tackle, along with number 90, Richard Wood, 83. 90 being George Stewart, a defensive tackle. There's Clement, number 2.
And momentum may swing here if Notre Dame does not pick up the first down.
Third down and 6. Art Best. And Best is stopped at the line. It'll be 4th down. 4th down and about 5 is Dale Mitchell defensively for the Trojans.
Chris, Notre Dame has an entire series from that play action. They'll either give the ball to the fullback or give it to the halfback, or they will fake to both of them and throw a bootleg pass.
Look at these two men that go deep. Swan, 22, and Davis, 28.
I'd hate to kick to him. Unless I thought somebody could hang it up in the air for about 6 counts so everybody could get under it.
There's very little breeze here in South Bend, Indiana, as Brian Doherty, averaging nearly 45 yards a punt over the season, gets one high. Swan fielding it at about the 22. A marker is down. Anthony Davis put a block on Best, and we'll wait and see what the markers are all about.
I think one of them, Chris, was he did signal for a fair catch illegally, and then we had a clipping penalty.
43-yard punt, minus 6 yards on the return.
But that rule is very ambiguous, signaling for a fair catch. The rule says in college now that you have to wave your hand back and forth. He did not wave his hand back and forth, and they would not have counted that as a legal fair catch signal. Yet they penalize him for running after a fair catch.
It's a non-contact foul. That was the signal the referee gave.
Let's watch, Swan, at the bottom of your screen. There goes the hand up in the air, but it really didn't get up in the air, and it certainly didn't swing from side to side, so it was an illegal fair catch signal.
his hand never got above his head. I thought it was a very poor call.
That would not have been a legal signal even last year before you had to wave it from side to side. Let's take a look at it again right at the bottom of the screen. Swan, the man at the bottom, there goes the hand up, but no swing from side to side, no contact foul, and it came after the yardage markers were set, so that's wrong. It's first down 10.
All right, from the 9, SC trailing by 6, 7:42 to go, third quarter. Hayden giving to Davis. The field not very wet, as we've had light drizzle with the wind kicking up now. And next week we travel to Jackson, Mississippi, because at 4 Eastern time, Johnny Vaught's Rebels from Mississippi will be taking on Charlie McClendon's LSU Tigers.
Charlie McClendon's LSU Tigers are unbeaten, untied, and this game has all of the tension, LSU, Mississippi, that Notre Dame, Southern California has. They really play it for keeps in the Deep South.
So join us from the Deep South 1 week from today. Today it's Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend.
And Southern California asking for a new football because of the mud on the ball that was being marked for play.
They gained about 5 yards on that last play. McNeil is in the lineup, number 27. He is the tailback now. And ahead of him is Moore, number 44. McKay is to the near side. Swan is at the top of your screen. And there's Swan in traffic. Bradley gets his hand on it. Luther Bradley, number 20. He's 6'2", 194 pounds. Very rangy.
And he has also got lots of poise for a freshman. This crowd of 60,000, the tension of this game has certainly not chilled Bradley.
You know, each year the NCAA awards to 80 select individuals $1,000 scholarships for postgraduate study. These awards are based on athletic and scholastic abilities. The NCAA postgraduate scholarship program is further proof of the NCAA's commitment to the student athlete. Third down and 6. Fourth down and 4.
Big series for the Irish. They kept them backed up. They got the kick from deep in their own territory.
John McKay using his 3 tailbacks. First Davis, then it was McNeil, and on the last play it was Carter.
I look for Notre Dame to put a big rush on the punter right here because they've been hurrying him and he hasn't been doing an outstanding job. They will bring about 8 men right at the kicker's toe.
All right, going deep for the Irish, 34 Zanat, Bob Zanat. And 7 is Tim Rudnick. And back to punt is number 7. That is Dale Bulware. They are using a different punter. Other than Lucas, Bulware's punt is rather effective inside the 45. So following a 44-yard punt, Notre Dame will snap it after this message. Here at Notre Dame Stadium, the Trojan marching band that has made the trip from the West Coast, and their team has just punted 44 yards. Notre Dame now has the ball, first and 10 at approximately their own 41, leading in the ball game 20-14 as we look at Anthony Davis. 15 rushes, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Tom Clements gives to Goodman, number 21, and Goodman is thrown for a loss by number 52, Ray Rodriguez.
This is Rodriguez.
Let's take a look at him here, Bud. He's taken the place of a great All-American linebacker, Sims, but he plays very well. He's quick, not exceptionally large, but he's a good tackler.
You can see that the turf's getting just slippery enough. It's a little harder to turn the corner.
Second down and 13 at the 38 for Notre Dame. Best in motion. Tom Clements. Casper is out. Throwing long, Goodman. Goodman had beaten both SC defenders. Charlie Phillips, one of them. There's Goodman, number 21, coming back. And with this reminder that this program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. Oklahoma leading Kansas State 35-7 at halftime, and Bud, that sets up a big game Thanksgiving week.
It certainly does. Oklahoma, Nebraska on Friday of Thanksgiving weekend, and Nebraska having a little trouble against Oklahoma State. State, a very fine football team this year.
All right, Notre Dame with a 3rd down and 13 on their own 38. The fake was to the fullback. The pass to Casper. Casper is up, but not quite enough for the 1st down. Charles Anthony, 55 on the tackle.
Great faking in the backfield. He faked the screen pass to the top of the screen, and Anthony staying inside to respect first that fake of the fullback over the ball, and then as Clements turned and threw to Casper, he was momentarily screened by the official, but Anthony has speed enough to go get him.
See if that umpire's name is Murphy or Kelly there, will you?
Fourth down, and as you see, a little more than 2 yards, so it's punting time for Brian Doherty. The marker is down. Doherty's punt is high in the air. That was a very clear signal by Anthony Davis. Let's see what the signal is. Offside.
Offside against Southern Cal. That was a penalty for the Irish.
1st down across the 50 it'll be.
Jerry Mark Bright is the referee. What a key penalty here now.
They're only 1 1st down away from field goal range, too, which would put them even further ahead of the Trojans.
I tell you, the difference between 6 and 9 is a big, big difference.
Gentlemen, we got a lot of time to go. This is only the 3rd quarter. 4 minutes, 57 seconds. It's 20 to 14. Notre Dame in the lead.
Pepe's planning his 4th quarter strategy.
That's best in motion. Bullock, the fullback, carries to the 45 of SC.
Well, that Monty Doris is some middle guard. He's just been in there all day just like a rock, and they can't move him.
These are both fine football teams. You know, they both played exceptionally well today.
They also have been looking forward to this one, as they do each year. One of the great traditional intersectional battles in all of college football.
And always a lot at stake. USC, trying for its 2nd consecutive national championship, have not lost in their last 23 games. Notre Dame trying for their 1st title since 1966. Both undefeated. Bullock carrying on the play.
Chris, I never agreed with that vote in 1966. You know, they didn't beat the Spartans. I thought they were fortunate to tie us.
Yes, Bud and I televised that game. We were all there, Duffy.
It was a great game.
It was.
Great game.
I thought the coaching was superb.
Aaron and I were talking yesterday. You know, we both agreed that they were probably 2 of the greatest teams that ever played football, the Notre Dame 66 team and also the Michigan State
Really?
team. Aaron feels that way, and I'm inclined to agree with him.
They were great teams. There's no question about it.
For the coast, the southeast, the Big 8.
Wayne
Where he
Bullock.
marks this one, Chris, and we've had a little problem a few times today on where he marks it.
Oh, I'd hate for him to survey my farmland. He'd put the fence
like it
row
if he
the
were a
wrong
tax assessor,
place.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's the truth.
You'll have to say the officials have been consistent. They've been giving bad spots to both teams.
What do you do if they don't make it here?
That's what you call being
can't
fair.
believe that. The ball was placed there. I can't believe the way the ball is placed following a tackle. Well, we'll get off that. Nevertheless,
they're going to go for it. I think Arrow wants this game so badly, not having beat Southern Cal since 1966.
I would say, too, Duffy, that whether you give Southern Cal a ball here or another 15 or 20 yards closer to their goal line, as explosive as they are, it's a very sound strategy to try to keep it. Here they come, unbalanced line to the bottom of the screen, power eye formation.
okay. Goodman, Bullock, and Pennick in the backfield. Power eye. Hornman, rather, the fullback.
That looked like my Sandlot team. But it worked great. I think he fumbled the ball, turned around, and got the handoff in perfectly, and maybe it was a called play. I can't tell. What do you think, Duff?
Well, I think he was supposed to hand off the ball to the fullback, but he did bobble it coming out, and I thought it was a fumble for a minute.
And Southern Cal almost offside again.
Hornman now gets a rest. Bullock is back in. He did his job. Got the 1st down for Notre Dame at the 32 of SC. 2:54 to go. 3rd quarter, 20 to 14 Notre Dame. Pennick in motion. There he is.
That's that same play he scored on, except instead of handing the ball, they pitched it. It's a pitch sweep, coming back in motion, pitching the ball to Eric Pennick.
Got one more man ahead of it by not faking the fullback in.
Yeah, that's right.
Texas A&M coming on strong, leading Baylor. And Davidson leading the Air Force, and that certainly would be an upset.
Now it's second down and about one from the 23. Best in motion. Clements on a keeper.
Clements bobbled that ball. He's having a little trouble. Maybe the ball's a little bit slick.
Well, neither team has lost the ball yet on a fumble, which is remarkable with the hard hitting, but
the fans getting a kick out of the immediate signal of a first down by the officials. They didn't measure.
And we got the Notre Dame team now in front of the student body, and you'll see them quiet down as Clements gets ready to call his signal.
They never chant when the Notre Dame team's in scoring position.
Two strong players at the top of your screen. 44 to the right, Panic. 86, the great end, Jasper. First and 10. And it's Best that gets blocking from the 2. From the 21, moves forward, and then Richard Wood of Elizabeth, New Jersey, and Charlie Phillips from Pasadena make the tackle.
That was a classic example of an irresistible force almost meeting an immovable object, because it was a great collision. There's been a lot of great collisions out here today.
Now it's the second time that Russ Kornman, the sophomore from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, has been shaken up. Don't forget, starting the first quarter, January 1974, Wide World of Sports, not only on Saturday, but Sunday as well. Now, second down and about 6 for Notre Dame. They're deep in SC territory, leading by 6. Clements throwing, and here comes a batting down of a pass.
Well, he didn't have much on that one. The ball must be slick because he was running to his left, but as he got ready to deliver the ball, it just didn't have any zip on it, and should have been an interception.
All of Troy. That's on the library wall, the beautiful mosaic.
Chris, speaking of collisions, you know, people sometimes wrongly describe football as a contact sport. It's a collision sport. Dancing used to be a contact sport, but
Whoops.
football is a collision sport.
Okay, Duffy, you would know. Third down and 6 now from the 17. Notre Dame with the ball. They lead 20-14 with about a minute to go, third quarter. And number 21, Ron Goodman, a junior from Mount Sinai, New York, stopped by Kevin Bruce, who nearly made the interception on the previous play.
And we've got the field goal team coming on.
And Bob Thomas has been perfect today on extra point, plus 2 32-yard field goals. And this one is going to be about the same, maybe a little longer. On an angle. Doherty holding. No, this is another 32-yard attempt. He's made 2 from there.
Made by Bob Thomas.
The kick is up. Good. Bob Thomas has hit on 3 32-yard field goals.
That's almost as good as a touchdown right now, because that puts Southern Cal 9 points behind. They've got to score a touchdown and a field goal to win the ballgame.
Bob Thomas has tied his game field goal record. He kicked 3 once against Michigan State and Northwestern. Oh, he's done it today against Southern California. And now it's 23-14 with 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
9 points against a team like Southern
Russ
California.
Kornman has a severe knee injury. And obviously, it doesn't appear he'll be back in today's game as we look at Coach John McKay, a native of West Virginia.
And Anthony Davis thinking touchdown.
Anthony Davis now waiting the kick. He's got it at the 12, 20, 30. 36. So now the Trojans will have to work hard to try and move it from there, trailing 23-14, but
With 15 minutes remaining to play, that 9 points sounds like much, but against Southern California, it's not anything close to being safe.
the last time Southern California lost was in 1971 to Stanford.
Great Stanford team.
That, of course, was against Jim Plunkett and Stanford when they were still called the Indians. Hayden to Swan. Bradley covering on the play.
Let's take a look at this. Here we have Swan, a great receiver. Watch Bradley come in. He hits him just at the right time. The ball is thrown in here quite well. That's a little bit behind. However, Bradley hit him just as the ball got there, and that's entitled to the defensive back, but that position.
I really believe that Southern California is going to hit some passes unless Notre Dame gets a better pass rush. Hayden has had too much time.
Right. J.K. McKay is the bottom of your screen, 25, along with Hayden, but the pitch goes to Davis. Two Notre Dame players have made the penetration into the backfield as time runs out in the third quarter. And Notre Dame is leading Southern California 23-14 as we look at the facade on the library. One of the great landmarks in America, the Golden Dome on the Notre Dame University campus here in South Bend, Indiana, and where football got much of its tradition. Look at the color of the trees here, autumn in South Bend. The stadium, the sellout for the 47th consecutive time, as Notre Dame is leading by a score of 23-14. Here's the first snap of the final quarter. Third down and 14 from the 32 for the Trojans. Pat Hayden needs the yardage, drills one, and losing his footing was Swan.
Beautiful job of protecting the passer. Goodness sakes, they had the blitz on.
This has to be a broken pattern. Now, you watch the two receivers. They shouldn't have both been in the same zone. In fact, Obradovich came into the same area where Swan was obviously the primary receiver. Here's Lynn Swan. There's Obradovich. The ball was thrown a little bit low.
It isn't often that you'll see Swan miss. He is a great receiver. As Boulware now punts for the second time today and gets off a beauty. Rudnick has it at the 25 for Notre Dame, moves back to the 30, and is brought down hard at about the 36 by number 73. That is Greg Mardarian.
I think you could see him slip just a little bit as the drizzle begins to destroy the turf here, and the time of possession, Notre Dame's game plan working thus far very effectively. They've had the ball almost 10 minutes longer than Notre Dame, have run 62 offensive plays to 38. They're ahead on the scoreboard. They're ahead statistically. And this is Rudnick, the great defensive back for Notre Dame, down.
And who returned the punt.
I think the field is getting more slippery every second here out here, and I think it's going to have a great effect on the remainder of this game. These fast backs on both teams can't seem to cut, but they don't have the traction that they'd have on a synthetic field.
Well, I'll tell you, when you lose your defensive corner man, and you've got to go against Southern California's passing for 15 more minutes, it makes you just a little bit nervous if you're not already highly nervous. Southern Cal not defeated in 23 games last time against the University of Stanford. Stanford beat them in 1971.
Last week on most of these stations, the battle of two great powers, Alabama and Tennessee. Now it's SC Notre Dame. Next week it's Mississippi, LSU. Now it's first and 10 from the 36. Notre Dame leading. And Art Best, who's not played as much as he did in an earlier telecast here on ABC when Purdue hosted Notre Dame.
If the Irish can win this game, they'll have a great shot of going undefeated the rest of the year and probably playing in a bowl game, and they'll have certainly a great chance to win that national championship.
Because they play Navy next week, then Pittsburgh, then the Air Force on Thanksgiving Day, and then Miami on December 1st. All right, it's second down and 10 now from the 36. Notre Dame in the lead. There's Best, who ground out over 100 yards against Purdue, moving to the 45 of SC, 19 yards.
That was the biggest hole opened up by either offensive line all day long.
Continues to drizzle, making it rather difficult to handle the ball and makes the footing unsure as Pinnock is outside Casper, 86 the end from the 45.
Best Notre Dame beginning to go to a straight ahead running attack. With bad footing, it's hard to go wide and then turn the corner without losing your footing. The fullbacks can hit straight ahead as they've done in the last two plays without taking quite so much of a gamble on the bad footing.
Otha Bradley comes into the lineup, replacing number 79, Gary Jeter. Bradley, a junior, Jeter, a freshman, at defensive left tackle. or on this side of the field. Report is that Budnick got hit in the head, but will be back in the game. You saw how the snap happens between the center and the quarterback as Leonard Monty of Shasta, California, number 25, a sophomore back, carried it for Notre Dame.
That was a hand-back trap, and there wasn't much of a hole. It's played very well by Southern Cal.
This is quite a big snap here. Notre Dame converting better on third down than Southern California. This is a key one, though. If the Irish could make it, they'd be in field goal range again.
They need 7 yards. 12 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the game. No way. Beautiful defensive play on Leonard Monty. And there on the bottom with that dirty white Trojan jersey is number 83. That is Richard Wood.
Here's Richard Wood. His reputation is obviously well-earned and well-deserved. Watch him. He's reading the play. He's not firing it in the term of a plug or a red dog. He just reads the play and comes in and catches the counter for a loss.
I think he saw the guard pull in front of him, so he knew it had to come back that way.
4th down and almost 10. And Brian Doherty, number 9, is at the left of your screen to punt. We have Swan, 22, Davis on the near side, deep. 11:57 to go in the game. It's 23-14, Notre Dame leading. This is a high end-over-end punt, and Davis calls for it. And with all the sureness in the world and confidence, he brings it in at approximately the 18. The punt went 27 yards. Team now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They trail as the ball goes to Davis. More blocking, but only for a couple of yards.
I looked for Coach McKay to start throwing the ball a little bit more. It's been difficult to run against this fine Notre Dame defensive team. They're awfully tough on the ground. You mentioned, Bud, that they're leading the nation, I believe, in the defense against the run. And I can see why.
They were number 1 on defense going into this game, total defense.
Right, and number 2 on scoring defense. Only 1 touchdown coming into this game.
And now it's been 2.
Right. That isn't very many, and 6 is a Duffy. That's what the defense have done for Notre Dame. 1st in total, 2nd in rushing, 2nd in scoring, 10th in pass defense. And they're playing 4th or 5th ranked University of Southern California Trojans with 11:12 to go. 23-14 Notre Dame. McNeil and Moore are in the eye. 2nd and 8. There's that pass. And Obradovich catches his first pass of the day. He's a junior from El Segundo, California. 22-yard play, 1st down. All right, Davis getting ready to come back into the lineup. McNeil goes out, number 27. 28 is in. There you see them coming into the huddle. Exciting moments now in this final quarter and another exclusive telecast of NCAA football, Notre Dame SC. Next week, later in the day, it's going to be LSU, Mississippi. Oops.
Got contact with him.
He almost didn't. Automatic 5 yards. 1st and 5.
The Notre Dame defense is thinking if we can make them surrender the ball to us 3 more times, we've got this thing sacked up. But it's going to be a difficult assignment.
I'm tremendously impressed with Hayden, the way he stands in there, the poise that this young man has. He really rifles that ball, too. John McKay says he's the finest passer he's ever coached.
Pat Hayden from West Covina, California, junior, 5'11", 171 pounds.
He was shaken up in the 1st quarter, but he's come back strongly.
1st and 5. There he goes. Beautiful.
I'd put that play in the offense next week. That's a broken play. That's the kind I used to coach.
The reason those plays go is that
looks like one of my Thursday night plays, Bud.
The defense is always keying the movement of the offensive backs and the movement of the offensive line. And that time with a broken play, all of the keys were destroyed and set up a broken field for Hayden.
And now they're alternating tailbacks, McNeil and Davis. Davis is in now. And the SC cheerleaders came prepared with their rain gear. So now from the 40 of Notre Dame, 1st down. SC trailing, they need a score. Obradovich is out, was wide open. And was he in bounds? Yes, says the official at the 24. Obradovich, 15 yards, another SC 1st down. To her delight.
really great pass protection by the line of Southern California. You can see the linebacker shooting as Obradovich starts down the field. Notre Dame picked all of them up. Obradovich is open. He's looking around to see if anybody's going to throw it. He's up in the air. He's hit, but his foot is on the ground inside the sideline.
We've been quick to criticize the official, but I think we should compliment them on a couple of great judgment calls they've made on these inbound plays.
That's right, Duffy. I wouldn't want their job. Out from the 25, first down. Davis out of bounds inside the 20. Luther Bradley and Lopensky forcing him out of bounds. You know, the NCAA and 3 other amateur organizations from the United States Collegiate Sports Council, a body dedicated to international intercollegiate competition. The USCSC sends a team to the World University Games, an international athletic event second only to the Olympics.
9 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. A very big series. Notre Dame needs to stop them if you're a Notre Dame fan, and the Trojans are tough to take it in with a 9-point deficit.
2nd and 5, Swan in motion. And trying for the 5 yards and losing the ball. Notre Dame recovers. Was it Davis? Recovering the ball, it appeared number 50. Greg Collins, who is quite a hockey player, but decided to play football instead, number 50.
Second turnover by Southern California. They had an interception in the first half, and this was the first fumble of the football game. Couldn't have come at a more propitious time for Notre Dame.
Anthony Davis fumbles, Collins recovers, and Notre Dame stops the drive.
Southern Cal needed at least a field goal there. A field goal would have been just as good as a touchdown. They're going to have to score twice to win the ball game.
So now from the 16, Notre Dame with the ball leading 23-14 with 9:12 to go. Best turning it out to about the 21.
I'll see what kind of a predictor I am, but I look for Notre Dame to stay on the ground and not try to put the ball in the air and take any gambles.
And now Best is hurt, number 23, calling for help. Looks like an ankle. Sophomore, great young player. Art Best, native of Ohio.
Parisi coming in for him.
Tom Parisi. So now it's 2nd down and 5 at the 21.
Oh, what a tackle by Wood. Oh, boy. He was right there, and that's form that you try to teach.
We've seen some great linebackers this fall. He's right up among the best.
He surely is.
Tom Parisi from Longmont, Colorado, carried on the play, bringing it up to the 24. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 2 for Notre Dame, leading 23-14 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go. 85, Dimmerly to the near side of the field.
They're gambling it's a run. Everybody's up.
It looks like a 1st down for the Irish. Parisi.
7:57 remaining, and that 1st down will eat up at least another minute and 45 seconds on the clock.
Right, Bud. Continues to drizzle here in South Bend, Indiana. The ball is at the 28 now with a 1st down. Brenneman is over it for the Irish. The center in York, Pennsylvania. Clements. And in front of the SC bench, Clements forced out of bounds.
The surprising thing about that play was the speed that Clements showed. He outran a couple of Southern Cal defenders.
That's about the 4th or 5th time they've run that quarterback counter, and it appears that Notre Dame's offense, with the guards pulling and the backs going, has the Southern California people following them, and Clements keeping the ball against the grain has been good. And there's that big Thanksgiving Day weekend again. Going into this afternoon, 7 of the teams you'll see on that Thanksgiving weekend were undefeated.
Alabama LSU at Baton Rouge starting at 5:30 Baton Rouge time. So LSU fans must remember that. It's a 5:30 kickoff. Thanksgiving afternoon.
There's a flag on that play, Chris. I think it's going to be called back.
It is. They were in motion.
Backfield in motion, illegal procedure, whatever's.
We've talked a lot about number 83, Richard Wood, this afternoon, the 6'2", 217-pound junior for Southern California, one of the great linebackers in college football. Look at him read, fight through the block, keeping his concentration, seeing the ball moving to the outside and turning on his speed to be over on the tackle.
The last time Notre Dame won was 66 when they won 51-0 over SC. But SC has either won or tied since then. First and 15 from the 33.
Get up there.
And you can see the turf getting a little bit slippery from the drizzle.
Leonard Motti, number 25, carrying on the play. In on Motti was 55, Anthony, and 83, Wood.
I don't really think that Era is going to worry too much if it does rain. When you've got a 9-point lead, you just assume the footing will get a little bit sloppy.
There goes number 85 back in the ball game. Incidentally, Demerly does wear the number that was worn by the great All-American end Jim Seymour. I understand Jim's here watching the game in person.
So is Joe Azara, former kicker for the Fighting Irish. And Paul Hornan, a lot of the great names in Notre Dame football. Tom Clements, second and 12.
He didn't want to get out of bounds. That kills the clock. He'd have rather gone down inbounds. It's J.K. McKay hoping that the defense will hold, that we get the ball, and that we can move it. And this is that little sort of thinking about what I'm going to do when I get in there next time.
Notre Dame has used 9 different ball carriers today as they lead 23-14 with about 6.5 minutes to go. Pennock, there he is, scored 1 touchdown on an 85-yard run from scrimmage. And for those of you that just joined us, Notre Dame took the lead on a 32-yard field goal. SC came back to lead 7-3. Then it was Thomas kicking another field goal, 7-6. Then it was 13-7. Clements scoring, and that was a halftime score. Then Pennock with an 85-yard run. Then Hayden hit Swan on a touchdown pass. Another 32-yard field goal by Thomas. And that's the way it's been as Notre Dame is forced to punt on 4th down. This is Swan at the 21. Davis blocking. Swan tries to get outside. No luck.
Beautiful kick. He really hung it up in the air.
So now, SC, 5 minutes, 44 seconds to go, and they trail 23-14. Trojans with the ball. First and 10 at their own 25 from the Goodyear blimp Mayflower. Now back near ground level. Matt Hayden throws in the flat. It's taken by Swan. Swan gets away. Swan is on the move. First down. He's still going. Or correction, Rod McNeil.
Goodness sakes, what a move he made. I thought it was Swan, Chris. He ran like him.
20. What a second string tailback, Rod McNeil, who now gets a rest, and in comes Davis. Number 28 as Greg Collins made the tackle near midfield. First down.
Southern Cal almost have to get on the scoreboard here in this drive if they're going to win this ball game and keep their unbeaten 23-game streak unblemished.
J.K. McKay, 25 to the top of your screen. Swan, 22 at the bottom as we look at Pat Hayden, the quarterback. Moore and Davis are in the eye. The fake to Davis. Hayden. Hunter.
I've been talking all day, Chris, about how great their pass protection has been. That time they poured everybody in, and it's the first time they've gotten to him all afternoon, but it was at a critical time and a long loss.
Willie Fry, number 94, another Notre Dame freshman. And Bronner, who made the first hit, is the other freshman. In other words, we have defensive ends now, freshmen.
Big play for Notre Dame. Second down, 23, I guess.
Second and about 22. Pat Hayden now. McKay is out there all alone. McKay has it. Did he have possession? Let's see how it's ruled. Yes. A fumble recovered by Notre Dame.
He couldn't believe that he was that open, I don't believe. And then he looked around to see where he was, and boy, let's watch him. He made the catch. He had possession. He dropped the ball, and Notre Dame recovered.
Those 3 turnovers have been the story of the ball game right now.
They usually are. 4:23. The clock favoring the Irish.
And the Irish get the ball at their own 40-yard line, and the band is anticipating with the song. Not since 1971 against Stanford and Jim Plunkett have the Trojans been defeated. 23 without defeat. Last week, Tennessee, I believe, had 11 in a row, but Alabama knocked them off.
And a first down here will be as important as any first down Notre Dame has made in a long time. And turnovers, 3 by Southern California, 2 fumbles, 1 interception in the first half, and the Irish playing a great ball control game and playing airless football thus far.
I'll tell you, it's tough to play at Notre Dame Stadium, right, Duffy Doherty?
Oh, it's tough to win here.
There's J.K. McKay. Tough ball to a fine young man, not being able to hang on to that pass as Clements tries to eat up the time on a keeper.
He wants the first down, and you think he got it.
You know, at the conclusion of today's game over most of these ABC stations, it'll be Prudential College Scoreboard with hosts Merle Harmon and Dave Dials up to the minute scores of the key games around the nation. And, of course, Wide World of Sports.
No gain on that play, but Era Persigan said yesterday, in order for them to beat Southern Cal, that they were going to have to play an error-free game, which is unusual. And so far, Notre Dame hasn't had a turnover. They just haven't made any mistakes.
There are 3 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. Notre Dame makes a first down here. That'll wrap it up.
Last week against Oregon, the Trojans 240 yards passing. But today it's been different. A fumble. There's a white jersey, a blue one, number 72. And SC has it with 2:44 to go in the ball game.
And that's not supposed to happen when you're running the quarterback sneak, so you don't have to change the ball.
Monty Doris recovered for the Trojans, so it's 3 turnovers for SC, 1 for Notre Dame, 23-14 the score.
But you see how many times that happens when you mention that a team hasn't made a mistake, then bango. There it happens.
And there's the young man that recovered the fumble for the Trojans. And the line of scrimmage will be at approximately the 47, their own 47.
Southern California has 3 timeouts remaining. If they get a quick score here, this game is not over.
McKay and Swan to the near side. Hayden looking to throw. Oh, and coming up with the interception was Bradley, the freshman, and he juggled it right to the sideline.
Johnny McKay, J.K. McKay, mixed up his assignment there. He broke on the inside post pattern, and Hayden was throwing the outside sideline pattern.
I don't know if he had control of that ball when he went out of bounds or not.
So we'll return with the front pass to take over possession at their own 29 with 2:36 to go and leading 23-14. Number 24 for Notre Dame carrying on the play, one of the many backs that Ara Parsegian has at his disposal, Al Samuel.
Samuel is a very fine football player. Going into this game, he averaged 7.5 yards per try.
He's from Newport News, Virginia.
Clock moving, 2:11.
Now from the 34. It's a second down and about 5.
That was the 10th different back that's carried the ball for Notre Dame.
Isn't that something? Parisi, Tom Parisi, one of the 10 that Duffy was talking about. As you look at Parsegian on the left and Tom Pagna, while on the right it's a stunned John McKay, who has had some great victories this year over Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Tide, Oklahoma, Oregon State, Washington State, and Oregon last week.
And the dejection on the bench. You haven't been used to being behind if you're a Southern California player. It's been 23 outings which they've been behind at this stage of the game.
They have a great team. That's Clements. And, of course, Bud and Duffy will be choosing the offensive and defensive player of the game to receive the $1,000 Chevrolet Motor Division scholarship.
And that little quarterback counter has been a ball possession play for Notre Dame all afternoon. Those are last week's winners.
And previous winners for Notre Dame have been Eric Pennick, Bill Eder, Art Best, Willie Hall, Lou Harris, Richard Wood, Anthony Davis, and James Sims for SC in previous years. As Parisi carries the ball, it's now 51 seconds remaining, and Notre Dame, with their biggest victory to date, and actually it'll be their biggest victory of the year because they have Navy, Pittsburgh, Air Force, and Miami left on their schedule.
And they look strong enough to be able to handle those teams, but Miami has been tough.
Yes.
Navy has surprised some people.
Pittsburgh's getting stronger. Johnny Major's done a great job with Pittsburgh.
Parisi put that head down and picked up a few more yards. Full head of steam, as you see. 17 seconds to go. 23-14. A marker down on the field. As Ara Parsegan has had the luxury of going to his bench today often. This gives us a chance to thank Athletic Director Ed Moose Krause, Head Coach Ara Parsegan, his staff, and Sports Information Director Roger Baldessari for their help. Also, our thanks to Athletic Director and Head Coach John McKay, his staff, as you see a personal foul indicated against SC, and Sports Information Director Don Anderson. Our producer today, Chuck Howard, our director, Andy Sedaris. Now, with a 1st and 10, and the line of scrimmage at about the 13. Notre Dame leading 23-14 with 17 seconds to go. They keep it on the ground, hoping to run out the clock. Tom Parisi and a string of 23 without defeat in 5 seconds will come to an end. All the excitement of college football next week. LSU, Mississippi, and Notre Dame has won it 23-14 in a stunner on a rainy afternoon.
Here are all those New York Knicks fans out here. Like the World Series. Better than the World Series.
So the Notre Dame team being surrounded on between the 20 and 30 to our right. The stunned Southern California band on the far side. And it is a tough loss for a very powerful and highly ranked team, the Trojans of SC.
Great ball possession by Notre Dame throughout the afternoon and a very errorless game.
Well, once again, the final score, Notre Dame 23, Southern California 14. Coming up, the Prudential College scoreboard. Blimp provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Air travel arranged through a promotional fee paid by United Airlines, chosen for travel by more sports teams than any other airline. The preceding was a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Sidney Poitier.